Leadership of the Zongo community in the Ashanti region says it is unimpressed with the work of the Inner City and Zongo Development Ministry. The community heads observe that little has been achieved in the communities in terms of development and improvement in the lives of the people since the ministry was established. They believe the ministry can do better to transform the Zongos if education is prioritized and the locals are involved in the planning process. Prince Apia has more in this report.
The Zongo communities in Ghana are one of the largest but underdeveloped areas in the country. President Akufo-Addo, on assumption of power, instituted the Inner City and Zongo Development Ministry in fulfillment of an election promise to address the situation. 3.5 years down, the target communities in Ashanti region say there's little to write home about development spearheaded by the ministry. Chief Osman bin Ahmed speaks for the Sarkin Zongo of Kumasi.
Yeah, that I am not impressed with what the Zongo Minister is doing, because I can see that the Zongo Minister is only in Accra. I said it and I'm saying it right away. They need to also come to us to know the requirement. What do we need? What does our community need? You cannot sit down in Accra dictating for us what have they ever said, because in the whole of the country there's no community like the Zongo community of Ashanti region. When and where have they even sat down to know what we want? We are not politicians. I'm not, but I say things the way it is. Everybody knows me to say things as it is. We need him to also come. The president has set up the Zongo Ministry to tackle the problem of the Zongo community. Ask him, has he ever come, or the ministry, or in the... Sarkin Zongo said it to his delegation when they came and visited him. I am also standing here today to tell you that we are not happy with the Zongo Ministry, because it's high time they come to us to know the requirement of our people. We also need to see our people being taken to go and read medicine, and when and where have they come to sit down with us to access what we do? You cannot decide something from the top and then impose it on us. It doesn't work. If you want to settle our problem, come and sit down with us. What is that? What do you want? The situation is different. What pertains is area A possibly is not what area B wants. So I'm using this opportunity to tell the ministry that yes, the president is good, he is thinking for us, but I can tell you the Zongo Ministry is always operating in Accra.
Chief Osman made a comment when ex-president John Mahama donated a mini-bus and 50 bags of rice to the Zongo youth.
Responding to the concerns of the Zongo leaders, Minister for Inner City and Zongo Development, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, said government will by end 2020 deliver close to 100 million Ghana cedis in development projects in Zongo communities across the country. However, added the transformation will not happen overnight and that it will take time to improve slum communities. He spoke with Daniel Dadze on Prime Morning.
By the formation or establishment of the Ministry of Inner City and Zongo Development, it is not at all a supposition or an assumption that in an election cycle all the problems of inner cities and Zongo communities are going to be resolved. First of all, we are talking about over 3,000 communities scattered across the country. Government doesn't have, or Ghana doesn't have, a bottomless pit of money that is going to just in one go intervene in the lives of these 3,000 communities and resolve all their challenges. No, it won't happen. As we go on, and as governments come and go, and as this ministry stays, and then we as they say, chew a bit at the problems, I'm hoping that within a generation, we can wipe out the inequalities. Because if we had started this 63 years ago, okay, and people were even doing the kinds of things that we have managed to do in just 2 years, and people were doing them incrementally for 63 years, I'm sure by now much of the inequality would either have been drastically reduced or wiped out. So yes, the inequalities will exist. They will exist for another 10 years. They will exist for another 15 years. They may exist even after another 20 years. Nonetheless, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step, and we are happy we began.